From Betty Wilson Soccer Complex in Las Vegas, Nevada. Hello again, everybody. I'm Greg G.K. Porter for George Landerman Video Sports Productions. This is the Las Vegas Mayor's Cup Youth Soccer International Showcase. So shift colors, we're underway for all you sailors out there, past and present. This match in the boys under 15 category represents Neusport FC 95 green and the Albion Hurricanes blue. Let's get the lineups first for the lineup first for the Albion Hurricanes blue team from the Houston, Texas area. They are head coached by David Hill, and a manager is Julie Durham. The keeper is Michael Nelson, and defender is going to be Forrest Dueño. At midfield is Ben Mitchell. He's number 2. Number 7 at defender is Josh Durham. Number 8 at forward is Willie Marquins. Number 10 at forward is Funcia Carre. Number 11 at midfield is Jonathan Hastings. Number 13 at forward is Marcelio Borani. Number 19 at midfield is Connor Crabtree. Number 15 at defender is Benaya Preston. Number 20 at midfield is Junior Morataya. Number 22 at midfield is Edmund Ansira. Number 23 at midfield is Juan Carlos Salmaron. And number 24 defender is Tom Chapman. And that's your lineup for the Albion Hurricanes blue out of the Houston, Texas area. They are number 1 ranked in South Texas. A team that had a great 2008 season, and they qualified to play in the Region 3 in the West Premier League. And, of course, that is a league that competes against the best teams in Dallas, Austin, and Oklahoma. So here we are, about ready to get underway here at the Betty Wilson Soccer Complex in the Summerlin section of Las Vegas. Going from left to right is going to be the Albion Hurricanes. And going from right to left is the number 1 team in the state of Vegas, and that's Neusport FC 95, green. So Neusport FC drawing it up to midfield. And they've got pressure now, trying to get it toward the attacking third, and it's now going to be a free kick. And he started quickly. Yes, Neusport 95 now, they have it. And here's a drive toward the keeper and a save. No problem for the keeper that time. For the Albion Hurricanes, and that keeper is Michael Nelson. Neusport 95 at midfield now, and they won that soccer ball again. And they drive that ball out to the wide. As Albion Hurricanes retreating back into the defensive third, and a goal by Neusport 95. And they get the first goal of the match, and it's 1-0. The number 1 team in Nevada, Neusport 95, they put it on the net very quickly, and they get the goal, and it's 1-0. So the Albion Hurricanes have some work cut out for them right now as they are down 1-0. Neusport 95, the FC green team, they got here in pool play. They beat Spokane Valley out of Washington State 5-0, and they beat Westminster AFC Samba out of Colorado 2-0, and then they beat Pumitas 94 in Arizona there 3-0, and that was in pool play. And then they got to the semis, and they were able to beat the Calgary Chinooks, a United 95 team, 3-1, the Chinooks. Albion getting here by beating in pool play the Cordica USA 94 team in Nevada. And they beat them 2-1. And then they beat Napa Valley United out of the north of California 2-0. And then they beat Sparta United Blue 2-1. And then in the semifinals prior to this championship match, they won 3-2 over the downtown Las Vegas 95 team, the Gold 95 team here in Vegas. Well, they are trying to beat another Nevada team, I should say, and try and win a championship here at the Mayor's Cup International Showcase. And now in their own half of the field, they push it across midfield, Neusport 95. But it goes out of play, and out of the Hurricanes now are going to see what they can do to try and get that ball down toward the attacking third. It's knocked out by Neusport 95. Neusport FC. And they're retreating back as Albion Hurricanes putting pressure on them. The Hurricanes on the net and just across the mouth of the 6-yard box. Wow, that's a great service that time, but they just couldn't get the striker onto it. However, luckily they're able to throw it in again, and they get it into Preston. Preston and his pass intercepted now to the near side touchline. It goes out of play, and it'll be a throw-in for the Hurricanes. And Forrest Dueño throws it in onto the near side, trying to get a runner to possess it there, and that was Funcia Kane. And Kane was sandwiched there, and they knock it out of play, not allowing Kane to get a turn there toward the box or to get a service onto the box. Going to be a throw-in. Preston throws it in. Preston gets that soccer ball, and he's got a teammate who runs onto it. Into space, he's pressured heavily. They were going to work it to the outside. It's got too much pace on it as Junior Morataya was chasing it down. You're watching boys under 15 action here at the Betty Wilson Sports Complex. And now it is going to be a free kick. Wilson Marquez setting it up. Marquez going to left-footed, bending ball up high, and a save is made. He nearly scored on that one. That was a nice bending ball right at the keeper. And the defensive half of Neusport FC, they push it across midfield. They got a runner. But the defender being standing tall and tough in his space, knocking it out of play for the Albion Hurricanes. And the 18-yard box pushing it upfield. It was a quick touch by Neusport 95. And now the Albion Hurricanes, blue on the move on the long ball. They've got a runner there to the wide of the box, and he takes a shot. He messed up the post, and it actually hit the part of the post and nearly went inside. That was an excellent shot, and the keeper was really going to have a hard time. And you see already about these two teams and how they are so good in their respective states. A bending ball that time, and they couldn't control it. However, the Hurricanes now. And a whistle. Offsides call. It'll be a free kick.
And then you make your run in behind. Okay?
Free kick now. As the keeper for Neusport FC. Driving it to midfield. And now they have a Diagonal pass to the central and out to the wide now. 50-50 ball. Played over there. Tom Chapman standing stall into space. Neusport FC wins it and shot it toward the 18-yard box, but quickly Albion Hurricanes get it and send it upfield. On the long ball try. Into space, Morataya coming after it. And now we have a couple players going down right there with a foul. And the center ref says, got to watch the push. It's going to be a foul and a free kick, and to get it started quickly. You see the mountains there, the snow camp. And there's a foul into space now. Albion Hurricanes now with an opportunity here. Good set-piece opportunity for Albion. The number 1 ranked team in South Texas. You're watching William Marquines. Marquines, and his shot is deflected as they try to get another subsequent touch. Could not, but to keep it in the defensive half for Neusport FC. Neusport FC trying to get it out of their own defensive half. They do momentarily. And they have another runner onto it trying to force Albion Hurricanes to retreat. And they tighten up in the Central. 35-minute halves in his championship match. Nice chest trap there and controlling that soccer ball. And again, that was Kone. Fonsia Kone. Showing his speed, showing his good soccer ability. And it's going to be a CK. 1-0, Neusport FC 95, green. They lead in this match over the Albion Hurricanes, blue, in blue.
Attack the ball.
Here's the pinning ball for the Albion Hurricanes, up high, and a save by the keeper. And so now it'll be a drive by the keeper down towards midfield. Off the header. And it'll be a foul against the Hurricanes of Albion. So now it'll be a free kick just across midfield in their own half of the field. They get it going quickly. 95, Neusport FC. That ball goes out of play. The Albion Hurricanes, in addition to all their stellar play in the Premier League, were invited and participated in a Disney Junior Soccer Showcase that was presented by Chelsea Football Club. And they were able to travel to Orlando, Florida on Thanksgiving Day last year to compete against some of the top teams in the country. And they did very well as they finished as a semifinalist. Did not make it to the final. Albion Hurricanes pushing it up from their own half of the field is another reason why they're in this championship game. And there's a foul against Neusport FC, and it will be a free kick. So a free kick now, the Hurricanes at midfield. They have it out to the wide. Let's see how their service goes toward the 18-yard box. It's still in play. Neusport 95 have it just a few yards from their goal line, and they move it all the way up to midfield on a run on the long ball, trying to get somebody to run onto it. However, playing well in that space is Albion, and they're able to win and push it upfield. However, they have it and won it now, Neusport FC, and a long try went awry that time, as they weren't able to get a better shot. And there's a header. Marquines goes toward the central. Marquines again. They've got a player there in the central again, and here's Salmeron. Salmeron going to work it out to the wide. Salmeron from Morataya. Morataya has it. Junior Morataya is service into the 18-yard box. Marquez, that takes a shot at a save. Moritaya and Marquez working to give and go. Still 1-0. Neusport FC leading in this match. Albion Hurricanes now got a collision, and center ref allows them to play on that time. Seemed like a lot of hand wrestling and jostling, but he allows it to go on. But I'm sure he's keeping an eye on when he was going to decide to throw up the yellow cards, as it has been quite a physical match so far here in the championship one. Serve it toward the 18-yard box. It is saved by Michael Nelson. Nelson making the save. Not a problem for him that time. Drawing it up. Neusport 95. Getting it. Pushing it into the defensive half of Albion, Hurricanes, but no problem. As Benaiah Preston and company trying to move it up. And then they get a little pressure on the near side. Hurricanes with Preston bringing it in. A trip there, and forced Dueño going down. It's going to be a free kick, and Dueño kind of clutching both of those knees there. Talking to Dueño, the center ref. And who knows, he may be trying to tell Dueño, don't try to make me believe that you really are hurt when you're not, or that you really been hit when you're not, and it hasn't been that tough of a play. In other words, don't take a flop on me. Not to say that that's what he did say, but who knows, he may have, since he was talking to him a little bit. Neusport 95, and that's not uncommon in players trying to draw. Position and posture, the center ref. Marquez giving it over to Moritaya. Moritaya try to get that ball over to Dueño. Or no, that was Kane. And now on the far side of your picture, Neusport 95 able to push that ball across midfield. Josh Durham, a drive up to Kane. Kane now able to trap that ball and win it and possess it. And Kane now trying to keep it in play, but he just couldn't quite do it as he was being pressured by Neusport in the space. 1-0 as they're going to have a substitution for Neusport. And 1-0 as the Albion Hurricanes blue down by 1 goal here. And that ball pushed across midfield. The Hurricanes have to retreat back. And that ball is going across the goal line. It looks like it is going to be a goal kick. And now you see Edward Ansira about ready to come into the match for the first time. A midfielder, Ansira. So Ansira into the match. Goal kick for the Hurricanes, Albion Hurricanes, blue team across midfield. Kone trying to chase after it again. Foncia. It goes out of play. Throw in. Neusport 95. They bring it toward the attacking third, and they're still on it, but then they're disrupted on the play. Goes out of play, the far side touchline, and it's going to be a throw-in. Throw-in, Neusport 95, headed toward that 18-yard box, but Josh Durham is there. Nice play, and they get it all the way up to the center circle. Running on to it now is Edward Ansira. Remember, he just came in the contest, and he draws it back to his teammate, looking for somebody down in central, and that would have been Kane, but he didn't get it. And on the near side, and there's a flick over by Moritaya. Moritaya was probably looking for Marquines, but Marquines wasn't going to get to that one. Coming in now, Marcelo Barani. So Marcelo coming into the contest. That ball is pushed all the way to the center circle, and Durham driving it back across the line, but then they get it back. Neusport FC now on that soccer ball just across midfield and pushing it all the way down toward the defensive third of Albion Hurricanes, and they now from the defensive third push it up to midfield. Kane goes down on that play. And out to the wide. Now they're going to try to work it to Kane. Kane won't get to it as a defender for Neusport FC gets to it first and drives it out of play. Tommy Chapman now will throw it in. Kane now. Funcia Kane. Kane trying to get around a defender. He does, and service into the box and across the width of the box to the near side. And it is going to be an offsides call. Actually, they say that ball went past the goal line, and it's going to be a goal kick. Goal kick now for Neusport, 95. Down to Central with a long ball. And retreating back, trying to disrupt the strikers there toward the 18-yard box of Neusport 95. Nicely done that time by Benaya Preston and his teammate. Got the defenders back there, Forrest Dueño and Josh Durham and Preston. Here's the keeper, Michael Nelson. That's what they're all trying to do, trying to help out their keeper, Michael Nelson, to try to keep that ball from going in the back of the net. Into Central. The deep back, the final third. And right there in the space, and Sierra pushing that ball across midfield, looking for a runner onto it, and could not get one. Well, actually did get one, but he was physically fouling another player on Neusport FC, and so now they got the free kick, trying to get it in the 18-yard box. They have it there, and they have a player on the outside. He's being marked by two players, but he loses the soccer ball past the goal line, and he's going to end up giving a goal kick to the Albion Hurricanes out of South Texas in the Houston area. Ball driven towards midfield, and they've got a runner now. I believe that's Marquines, and it goes to the far side. Touchline out of play, and Neusport FC will probably get to throw in it. They say actually it was touched out by Neusport FC. So Neusport FC green team giving up the throw-in here in the attacking third by the Hurricanes. And they throw it in, but nothing to be able to make out of that play for Kane. Funcia got caught that time and body positioning and could not handle that soccer ball, and gives up an opportunity now to have Neusport drive it all the way down the field. As they do to midfield, but then they give up possession again. Into Central now. Nice play that time by Nsira. Nsira toward the Central, and a foul on the play. And so now they're going to give up the free kick, and the center ref wants to make sure that ball is placed in the right spot. And he wants to let everybody know.
William. Well, make sure it's 10.
Can't get it started too quick. I'll give that signal. The wall is set up by Neusport FC.
Junior, stay on side, follow it up.
The Nevada team try to keep that 1-0 lead, and they do, as that ball was too high on a set-piece try. Marquez. And kind of kicking that turf. Not happy about that play. Ben Mitchell now comes into the play. Into the match. Out there. Here at the Betty Wilson Soccer Complex. On a rather cold day.
It's just you and Klopp like a normal 4. When we're attacking, you just hold it.
As you see the snow in the background of the mountains. The uppermost. Here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the Summerlin section to get it over to Ben Mitchell. And a foul. Correction, not a foul, but actually they want to let the center ref know, or the center ref wants to let them know, don't get it started sooner than I give the signal. In their haste. And actually, you have a player down for Neusport FC. And he's getting up on his own power. And he's going to head off to the sideline. Jonathan Hastings. Well, that would be the alternate number. Jonathan Hastings is standing there for Neusport 95. And let's see who's going to strike the soccer ball. As the bending ball into the 18-yard box is broken up. They want to try to get another strike on it, and it's a goal! Go, 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 goal! They put it in the back of the net. Albion Hurricanes getting the job done. Connor Crabtree scoring the goal amongst a myriad of players right there. And that's what created the problem for the keeper. And it is 1-1. So finally the Hurricanes are able to get the equalizer here in the first half. Time running out in the first half. As that ball flicked into the 18-yard box. And quickly a strike there by Ronnie. And off the body, and the center ref still says play on. As Neusport FC still trying to maintain possession of it in an attacking third now. And they're trying to get a play in a box now as they draw it out. As they continue to keep the pressure on of the Hurricanes. And the Hurricanes now maintaining that possession of the soccer ball, and they'll be able to move upfield now. And that's a Marcelo with it. And to the central in their own defensive half, moving up out of their defensive half and driving a long ball over there, but coming to it is Michael Nelson. 1-1 in this championship match between two fine soccer clubs. Greg, GK Porter, happy to be with you in Vegas at the Betty Wilson Soccer Complex. A lot of great soccer action is played right here in Vegas at the Betty Wilson Soccer Complexes. Or a soccer complex, if you will, and all the different fields on this soccer complex. It's going to be a free kick now. Free kick for Albion and Hurricanes. Trying to take the lead in this match. It is 1-1. As they got the equalizer here in the first half. That was a strike there by Ben Mitchell. Couldn't find anybody. Now that ball is pushed out to the wide. Chasing after it is Morataya. And it's going to be a foul. Foul against Neusport 95. And they want to keep it going real quick, but center ref says bring that ball back. And now it's going to be a free kick, and it's all the way down to the defensive third. And going after it there was Kane. And Kane goes down, and it was off his foot. And it's going to be a goal kick. Goal kick for Neusport 95 green. Neusport FC. Fresh player coming into the contest now for Albion. And that is going to be Jonathan Hastings. Connor Crabtree scoring that goal and putting him in a 1-1 situation. And now on the foot of Preston. Preston now try to find his teammate there in the central. He didn't get to it, and out of the near side, Preston coming over there and putting pressure on the runner from out of the his defensive half. Benaiah Preston on the near side. It is going to be a throw-in for the green of Neusport 95. They're going to throw it in. They have a player on the near side trying to do something toward the central, and now they do have it in the central as an intercepted pass. It was done nicely there and then moved to the outside, and Neusport 95 now pushing it towards the attacking third and a defensive third of the Albion Hurricanes. And coming over and hitting the striker that time, and basically that ball knocked out of play. It was lastly knocked out by the defender.
Should be. It's too late now. No, first not now. You're not going to get there. Someone else do it.
So it's now going to be a CK.
Eamon, you're the forward now.
Bending ball toward the 18-yard box. Two players going after that time. It's Ansira. And into the 18-yard box, and knocked away, and another save. And wait a minute, it should be a handball in his 6-yard box. Michael Nelson, and let's see. The linesman now and the center ref want to converse in this 1-1 match. They want to get together on exactly what happened on that play. Will it be a penalty shot? It is going to be a corner kick, actually. So it's a corner kick. Neusport 95 now, the bending ball into the 18-yard box. Brought down. A number of players trying to vie for it, and coming out with it is Kane. Kane's pass is intercepted. And one of the players for Albion Hurricanes is down in the 18-yard box, and that shot goes awry. And he is grabbing his legs, and he is not feeling too good right now. And they're going to check on him. As a collision knocking him down. Let's see, it might have been Kane. It looks like it might be Foncia. And the center ref, it was Kane. And substitutions coming in now. Tom Chapman coming in. And Kane coming out. Well, they averted that scenario on a player going down in the 18-yard box and did not give up a goal. So it is 1-1 still here in this championship game. A very hotly contested one here at the Betty Wilson Soccer Complex, the Las Vegas Mayor's Cup 2009, the international showcase of the youth soccer. On the near side, that ball is knocked out on the 50-50 ball, knocked out by the Hurricanes. Neusport 95 is going to throw it in. Toward the 18-yard box, and a foul on the play. Free kick for the Hurricanes. Now toward the central, trying to get a runner onto it. And a nice chest trap there by Ansira. Ansira trying to get to it. He cannot. And on the near side, they're dispossessed. And a couple of players going for it, and it's going to be a foul. And the center ref a little bit more adamant about calling some of these plays, trying to let the players know that this is a physical game, but it can't get out of hand. And he next might be pulling up yellow cards or potentially a red card. He finally pulls up a yellow card. So you could kind of feel that he was going to start issuing some yellow cards in this match. And he's already pulled up a yellow card. As both of these teams really chippy and have been chippier and chippier as this match has gone along. And the center ref now going to start writing down numbers. And if it gets to it, he'll pull a red card, and one of the teams will be down a player. Here in the championship game, both teams really want to win this game bad, and you could see it. You could feel it and taste it, but the problem is you got to play within the sport's rules. And Neusport 95 from the far side throwing it in. And undoubtedly both teams responding to each other's movements out there on the soccer field, and it is creating a little bit more of a bad blood situation. And the individuals out there have to begin to say to themselves, how badly do I want to continue on in this championship match? Because if you keep chipping at the guy, eventually it might get out of control. And right now, Neusport 95 now wants to try to get that ball in the back of the net, chippiness or not. They chip it up and high, the air game as they try to go for it, and that ball knocked out of play, but that's the end of the first half. With the score, it's 1 for the Albion Hurricanes blue team, and it is 1 for Neusport FC 95 green team. Stick with us. You'll see what the coaches are saying to their players at halftime, and then we'll be back with this hotly contested match, the championship one, in the second half. Action set to get underway here in the second half. It is going to be going from right to left. You have Neusport 95 going from left to right, and the Albion Blue Hurricanes going from right to left. And that's across the top of the 18-yard box. It's a 1-1 score as both teams putting one in the net in the first half. Neusport 95 in the early moments of the first half as a player goes down there. It'll be a foul. And then the Albion Hurricanes Blue putting one in towards the late part of the second half by number 19, Connor Crabtree, and a bunch of players there in the 18-yard box. And Crabtree found that soccer ball and drove it to the back of the net. Neusport 95 in their own half of the field trying to push it up. Having problems there in the space, but they have it now, and they push it across midfield now. Looking for a runner, and they have that runner on the far side of the 18-yard box. But a nice job. The defenders coming over and knocking that ball out of play. I believe that was Josh Durham. Good defensive play by Josh. And let's see now. On the far side. And this championship game, which team will come out on top here at the Betty Wilson Soccer Complex and the Las Vegas Mayor's Cup, the International Showcase. That ball is out of play in the far side touchline. And so the Hurricanes will throw it in. Up in the air as they play that 50-50 ball, and it goes out of play at a far side touchline. So the Hurricanes, the Albion Hurricanes, will throw it in. On it now is Neusport 95 as they push it across midfield. They have a player there at the far side touchline, and he's being contested there by the Hurricanes. And now here's a ball to the central now towards the near side here as they have a striker, but he's being marked heavily that time, and they're able to win it. The Hurricanes have pushed it upfield. William Marquez was on the near side. Now they throw it in toward the 18-yard box, and they have to get back in that box, and they do a fine job of standing tall on top of the box and making sure that Neusport 95 does not get that ball any further in the 18-yard box. 1-1 your score here in the second half in the opening first 5 minutes of the second half. Neusport 95 here in the attacking third want to try and get that ball in the net. Into the 18-yard box. There's a deflection, another. And now they settle it down and they take a shot, but they're going to miss awry of the right post. So Michael Nelson, the keeper for Albion Hurricanes out of the Houston area. A team that is made up of 15 guys representing 14 area Houston schools, and that makes up about 6 different counties. And they speak about 3 different languages, though, in those counties. They diligently train, though, for about 3 days a week. And even though they're diverse, they've developed into a very, very highly skilled team, as you can see here today. And enjoys playing and winning together. And they've been doing a fine job at this championship game in a 1-1 tie here in the second half. Cross midfield now. And they have it again now. On the attack, Marquez, and he was looking for a runner. And, of course, usually that is Foncia Kone, and Kone couldn't get to it. Too much pace on it by Marquez. The header to midfield now. And Ansira was there. And to the far side, you see Bonaya Preston. Preston on a soccer ball again. He winds it up over to Foncia, but he couldn't do anything with it. And now they got to retreat back a little bit. Almost running by was Chapman. And the defenders, they got to retreat back into the 18-yard box. And a push there, but it says play on, and a save by Michael Nelson. They got a shot. Did the Nevada #1 ranked team, and a nice save at this age bracket by Michael Nelson. And the #1 team in South Texas is still tied in this championship match in the boys under 15. Action hotly contested through this one as it goes toward the wide now. As the Hurricanes on their counterattack and coming right at the keeper that time, as you saw, Kone Foncia. And here's Marquines. Marquines on the near side. He was running out of real estate. And he says, I got to get that ball back into field of play. And they say, no, you ran out of real estate. So now Neusport 95 are thrown in from their own defensive third. He goes out, knocked out, as they want to stop the progress. But it doesn't work this time as they're able to throw it in. There was a touch by Dueño momentarily. It's in his central now, and the defenders who reduced the size of the field, they were looking for Kane. It was on his foot, but then he lost it, and it was driven, though, fortunately for him, the other direction. And so now they're going to get an opportunity to throw it in the attacking third with Tommy Chapman. Chapman brings it down, looking for a runner onto it. And, of course, that's Crabtree in the area and Kane. Kane doesn't get to it as they push it all the way up to midfield and reduce the size of the field. Does the Albion Hurricanes. They got a man with it now, Moritaya. And out to the one and a save as the keeper comes way off his line and makes a save. But the striker is down and so is the keeper. Oh, that was a bang play by both teams. And they're going to take the measure of the physicality of that particular play as they're going to be getting up slowly, and hopefully they can stay in the game. They're all right. And the keeper's still down, and that was a heck of a collision. But the keeper learns how to risk himself on plays like that, and he had to sacrifice himself on a play like that to keep it 1-1. That was a nice run by Jonathan Hastings, the midfielder, and Hastings nearly got to that ball first and nearly tucked it underneath the keeper to take the lead, but did not happen. And both of these strong young men and determined young men stay in its championship match. Juan Carlos Salmeron had a touch, and now Neusport 95 win it, and they push it back across midfield. Here they go, trying to get their counterattack going toward the central, but it's disrupted now, and coming over to it is Moritaya. Moritaya down to central. He's looking for Kane. He didn't get to it as it was pushed back. And let's see, is there a foul? There's a foul on a play. They say Kone to foul, and it'll be a free kick pushing off in the central, and it'll be a free kick now for the Neusport 95. Neusport 95 out of the center circle, down the central, up into the 18-yard box, and coming over there nicely was Crabtree to knock it out of there. And he gets a header across midfield now to Kane. Kane's got speed, Kane's got ability, and he goes down, he's tripped up, and they're going to get a free kick out of it. Kane in his space, showing his ability, and a yellow card is come out, and that is the second yellow card in the contest and not against the same player, so the player will be able to remain, but that's two yellow cards now in a match. Got one in the first half and one in the second half, and there could have been more in the first half. And now Ansira is going to take it. Ansira bends it toward the 18-yard box, trying to get a runner, and they just couldn't quite get somebody onto it. He missed it in the 18-yard box. He had a bunch of players there trying to thread the needle and just could not. And falling down that time was Preston, he was able to get up. Had to quickly that time, and on the wide, it's going to go out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in. Throw-in for Neusport 95. You see the beautiful view of the mountains here and the area of the Summerlin section of Las Vegas, Nevada. Obviously, one of the newest sections in Vegas. Developing area. Developed quite a bit in the last 5 to 10 years. Up in the air and a save by Michael Nelson. Nelson had to get up and make that save as they had a couple of pretty good strikes there, and they nearly were able to beat him on a play. And now here's Marquines. Marquines trying to go down to Central. He's looking for Kane. Kane, is he tripped up? Yes, he is, and it'll be a foul. And the Hurricanes, will they get it started quickly? Let's see. But at that point, they can get a real good shot on the keeper. And as you can see, that wall is mounting up now. And setting it up. And Sierra. William, no, that's Marquines. William Marquines now. Marquines drives it to the on an outswinger to the top of the box. He didn't get anybody to run onto it. And so they give it away. And now the counterattack is a very quick one. And they have to retreat back very, very rapidly. And Neusport 95, they don't quite get what they want out of the play. And the ball is driven by the keeper, Michael Nelson. He's got Kane now. Kane on the run. Kane having a hard time with it as he's being marked heavily. And they take it away from him. Neusport 95, they have it, but they give it right away to the blue. But they regain it again on the intercept and get a long ball try. They've got a runner there. He goes down. Did he go down inside the 18-yard box? If he was tripped, it's a penalty shot. And no, they don't call it as a trip, but that ball was lastly touched down by the Albion Hurricanes of Texas, and so that means it's going to be a CK. And so Neusport 95 is going to get their opportunity here in this championship game for the big play. They bend it on an outswinger up in the air. Can they get somebody to get it? And it's knocked by the defenders as they protect that line. Beautiful job by the Hurricanes. They protect that line and keep it from going in the back of the net. And they help out their keeper, Michael Nelson. And the alternate keeper now gets it, and for Neusport 95, and he drives it over to a teammate. And that ball lastly knocked out by the Hurricanes. 1-1 is still your score here in the second half as we move more and more toward midway part. Here is Foncia Kone. Kone left foots it, takes a shot and misses it on the left-footed try. And maybe he was looking for a teammate to try to deflect it into the net. Tough to see that time from our vantage point, but either way, the play went awry. Marquines was near the area, but he did not get to it. Kane and Marquines trying to work their magic. Marquines was involved in the first goal that Crabtree scored, as he was all in that thick of players that was right there in that 18-yard box. And then they were subsequently able to get Crabtree to run onto the soccer ball and drive it in the back of the net. Just too many players for the defenders to keep track of, and Crabtree was able to sneak in here and drive the rebound into the back of the net. Tommy Chapman now. Chapman gets it into Marquines, and then a quick strike there by Mortaya. And on the near side, they're able to get another touch back into the defensive half, but it goes across midfield now as Neusport 95, and he knocks a player down And let's see if he gets what kind of card he gets or if he gets a card at all. That was a pretty, very highly violent collision that time, and one of the players going down. And who knows, that might have been Preston that went down. It looked like it was. And so, no card is given, but it is a foul and a free kick, and it is a drive toward the 18-yard box. They have to retreat in their box, and then they're able to make a save as they were trying to see what they can do to put one in the back of the net, the Hurricanes. And a man that was on that play big time was, again, Connor Crabtree. And going down now on the play is Benaiah Preston. Taking their lumps back there in the defensive half, the Albion Hurricanes blue for head coach David Hill. But they are doing their best to keep this a 1-1 match. And they have kept it to a 1-1 match. Tom Chapman, service toward the 18-yard box, and he just couldn't quite get a runner onto it. Just missed it as too much pace on a soccer ball. Neusport 95, number 1 ranked team in Nevada for their age group. And they will get an opportunity, and they go very quickly on a free kick and taking a shot, and Nelson's able to make the save. Nelson protecting the post, and he was obviously aware that they were going to continue quickly on that play, and they did in a great way. But the keeper for the Hurricanes of Albion, very strong in protecting his post. Get a good look at the fans all bundled up here on a very cold day here in Vegas. Both these two teams played some very, very tightly and tautly contested soccer in this match. The championship one for the Mayor's Cup International Showcase of 2009. Going to throw it in is Tommy Chapman. Chapman throws it in on the near side, looks for Kane. Kane now having a hard time there as he's pressed by two players. Kane gets it back to Chapman. Chapman still on a soccer ball. Chapman weaving his way. Chapman doesn't get to it as they knock it out. He tried to get a subsequent strike, he and Kane, but they push it out on the near side touchline as they protect well in their deep back. Does Neusport 95. Tom Chapman going to throw it in. And Chapman gives way now to a teammate to throw it in. Into the 18-yard box, but it's intercepted and kicked out of the 18-yard box. David Hill has it there. And gives it to Chapman. Chapman throws it in. And off the carom, it goes all the way to midfield. And now off to the wide side. Time running down in the second half. A little more than midway through the second half of action now. This Mayor's Cup International Showcase down to Central, and a save. No problem for the keeper off of a bounce. Kone could not get to that one quick enough. Now to Central, and now they got to retreat back. The Hurricanes, and Nelson comes way off his line to help out his defender there. And Michael Nelson arranged to his left, and he'll draw that soccer ball all the way down towards midfield on a bounce. Trying to get Crabtree or somebody run onto it. They've got it now, but not for very long as they got to retreat back. Heads back in their own half of the field. 50-50 ball won by Neusport. 95 at a nice over-the-shoulder kick all the way toward the 18-yard box. Neusport 95 still trying to do something with it, but then Juan Carlos Salmeron had got to it, and only for a short time as Neusport 95 win it again. They still on a soccer ball trying to do something in the 18-yard box, but they're not going to be able to. Now they have it again. One of the defenders ran right by the soccer ball, but a shot. It wasn't much of anything for Michael Nelson to have to deal with, and now he will be able to goal kick it. And it'll be a substitution as Marcelo Barani is coming into the contest. So Barani into the contest. And one of the defenders will take the goal kick. We're still in a 1-1 match here. Off the right side of their offensive attack. And it's intercepted. They're still in their own defensive half. Albion Hurricanes. And now they're able to weave and bring it up to the wide side. And it goes off as Barani off his strike, and the defender knocking it out of play, and Barani throws it in. He gets it in that time to Preston on the far side, but Preston could control it, goes out of play. And now it's going to be a throw-in. Throwing it in off of a bounce. Coming into the play was Marquines. And now you have Preston over there. And now coming Salmeron trying to make a play. Now trying to force the action that time at midfield, so Neusport 95 has to retreat back in their own half of the field. You see now it is on a foot of Kone. Kone now couldn't get to it as he's dispossessed and driven all the way to midfield, and a foul. And that foul is going to work against the blue of Albion Hurricanes. So a drive down to central at Michael Nelson, and he comes off his line, and he doesn't hold on to it, and it's a goal. And hold on, maybe not. Maybe not. Let's see what the center ref says. They were celebrating Neusport 95, and Nelson now goes down, and he's out of breath here. And let's see now, as the center ref and the defenders obviously complaining about the striker on that play, Neusport 95, and they obviously complaining that he hit the keeper on the play. And so it is not going to be a goal. They are going to disallow that goal because of the nature of the way that play was. And obviously, the way I see it was that Nelson made the save, and then when he had it in his hand, the player found a way to kick it in the back of the net, and the center ref says, no, I'm going to disallow that because he already had made the save. That's just what I figured went on that play. In the 18-yard box, being pressured heavily, the Hurricanes now. And we are still in a 1-1 tie here in the championship game. And both teams now know that it is starting to wind down in the in the second half to a potentiality where they have to go into overtime. So in a 1-1 tie here in the second half, which team will get the possible winning goal? And it caroms over two players, and wait a minute. Action cannot continue on as the center ref says it is going to be a foul on one of the Neusport 95 players and a free kick. Free kick just outside the 18-yard box. Just outside the 18-yard box, and Josh Durham is setting it up. Durham now going to drive it all the way across midfield. Off the header in midfield now. And that ball going down to central. Slide tackle by Salmeron. And finally, they're able to win it back. It does the Hurricanes and push it back down the field. Here's Kane. Kane trying to weave his way, and he does. Kane leaves one man, takes a shot, and he just missed it. He just missed the near post. Beautiful play by Canese. He sidestepped one player on an attempted slide tackle to get to the soccer ball, and he was still able to maintain his balance and get a strike on the keeper. And he just missed putting it in the back of the net. As play ensues with a free kick for Neusport 95. Still tied at 1. Both teams here in the last few minutes putting a lot of pressure on the keepers of the other team. And coming back is Kane on a slide tackle, and the center ref says, I'm going to give you a yellow card. Kane came back, and that was what you call a dangerous play, and that you definitely are going to get a card on that one because they changed that rule years ago in soccer where you cannot come from behind on a player and try to take the soccer ball away. And when you do that, you usually can seriously injure a player. Here's a drive towards Nelson, and he jumps up and protects a post and makes a save. Oh, he got up against the post and made the save as it was right on him. Great game here in this championship game as both teams have been relentless. They don't want to seem to give to either team, the Texas team or the Nevada team. Here in the Las Vegas Mayor's Cup, the international showcase for youth soccer. Coming in now is Ben Mitchell. 1-1 is still your score. Don't go away. This is a match that is going to go down to the wire, it seems like. Somebody either will score or it's going to go into overtime, and it'll be even more exciting as it goes into overtime. And a whistle now as we have a ball on a field from the adjoining field. But moreover, there was a foul in space, and it's going to be a free kick for Neusport 95. Neusport 95 will have the free kick. Great boys under 15 action here at the Betty Wilson Soccer Complex. Coming down to the very wire here. An opportunity for Neusport 95 to take the lead and possibly win a championship here as they set it up on a big set-piece try here. Can Albion Hurricanes keep it out of the net? They've been successful so far here in the second half. They block it on the wall, and it's going to be a yellow card. A yellow card and a red card, and now coming out of the contest is William Marquines. Marquines has got to come out of the game, and he is just distraught right now. He can't believe he got a red card on that play, and that's got to hurt the Hurricanes. Neusport 95 now has an advantage, and Marquines has to go out on a tough afternoon of action, trying to give it his all. And as you see him there, he doesn't want to hurt his team, and he's just distraught now beside himself. And he just hopes his teammates can find a way to pull this one out. Neusport 95. Another opportunity added here on the free kick. And it's right on the net, and Nelson makes a save! Or was it a goal? No, they say it was in the net. And it is 2-1 now. As Neusport 95 take the lead, and that might be the ball game on a great shot. Beautiful shot that time, up in the high area of the net. And Nelson went as high as he could on a rope to try to get to it. And the trajectory of the shot was just too tough. And the velocity of the shot was just too tough. And it goes back into the net. And it is now 2-1. Coming out as a couple of players and coming in as a couple. Junior Morataya and Juan Carlos Salmeron is into the contest. And now the blue of Albion Hurricanes know what they've got to do. They're down by a goal. Here is Foncia Kane. He wants to switch it to the near side. He's got a player there, and he strikes it off of one player, and then now goes over to Ansira. Ansira now, and he can't get it to Kane, and he's distraught at that. And now in the space, you see there's Preston. And it goes out of play. Preston complaining on that one. He wanted a free kick. And let's see what the case is. He actually will be able to throw it in, but he really wanted a free kick on the play. 2-1. Neusport 95 leads here in the championship game. Here in the second half. Time running out in the second half. Both teams have played a great match. Here is Preston. Preston to the central. His teammate tried to possess the soccer ball but was knocked off it in a way where it's going to be a foul. It'll be a free kick from the midfield stripe. Setting it up, Josh Durham, the defender who's played well in this match. Durham now will try to drive it in the 18-yard box. He gets it towards it, but at the top of the box, it is knocked out. Neusport 95, they push it back over midfield, back to Durham. Durham and his teammate has reduced the size of the field. The header, and they tried to bring it down to Kane, and he didn't quite get it. Now they have another chance at it. Kane there, and it is knocked out, and they just played it right that time by making the defender make a play and drive it out of play. And now both teams who definitely are gassed in this game because they have played very physical. When it's cold, it takes even more out of you. Trying to win this championship. The throw to Kane right outside the box. Kane trying to shield the ball from the player, and it'll be a CK as it's knocked out by Neusport 95. It'll be a CK in the corner for the Albion Hurricanes blue team from southern Texas, the Houston area, having an opportunity here to try to tie the game. And they're down 2-1. They got to take a good advantage of this opportunity here. The bending ball, and it's knocked way out of the 18-yard box. However, still go back in the box with Mitchell, but he drove it too far past the goal line. Ben Mitchell wanted to bring it down on the arc, but he wanted to deposit it right at the central of the 18-yard box, but he didn't get that. And it went too far on the arc, way over the top of the net. A 6-yard box goal kick now, and it is pushed up the field, momentarily intercepted. The Albion Hurricanes, they need all the touches they can get. They need to possess the ball as much as possible. They need to try to get it in the back of the net. Otherwise, the championship will go to Neusport 95. And the Nevada natives will have the hardware. Into the corner. Trying to keep the visitors out of the back of the net. The visitors from Texas over there in the corner. It'll be a throw-in. And the throw-in will be taken by Junior Morataya. And actually, that's not going to be a throw-in. It's going to be a free kick. There was a foul on the play. So it will be a free kick. And this is a big set-piece try. Set-piece try, a right-footed strike, outswinger up in the air, and it just went over the top of the keeper. Here's Kane racing after it on the near side. Will he be able to keep it in? And no, and he does, but it's knocked out by the defenders covering well in the space for each other. And they didn't want Kane to have another shot at trying to strike that ball into the 18-yard box. Nice defensive play by Neusport 95. Trying to protect this one-goal lead and win the championship in the boys under 15 and the Mayor's Cup 2009 International Youth Soccer Showcase. Time is running out preciously, though, for the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes now, they get it in. The header towards the top of the box. They have players there. However, can they maintain possession? They cannot, as it's taken away by Neusport 95, pushed up across midfield. Now they throw it in from their own half of the field. The Hurricanes trying to get to it at midfield. And a couple of players, and they finally do win it. And it goes past Kane, and it is routed by the defenders right back to the arms of the keeper. And the keeper's going to drive it down to central. He drives it down at Central and drives back. The Hurricanes. And a strike on that soccer ball. Player goes down, and it is going to be a foul. I believe that was Preston on the foul. And it is now going to be a free kick. And because of that play, they got a good opportunity, Neusport 95, to try and add to their lead. They only lead by 2-1 in this game. Undoubtedly, if they get another goal, you can pretty much say they've won the championship. On the low side, and he didn't get anything out of it. And that's the end of the match, though, because it didn't matter. They did what they needed to do towards these last minutes of the second half. They kept Kone and company, the Albion Hurricanes, out of getting that ball in the net. And so they win a championship. You see them huddled around there, and they played great in this boys under 15 match. We hope you enjoyed all the action from the Betty Wilson Soccer Complex, the Mayor's Cup International Showcase featuring Albion and the Neusport 95. The championship goes to the Nevada team, Neusport 95 Green. Take care of yourself. God bless, and see you next time. Also, save it on the hard drive. Bye now.
This team is from Houston, Texas.
Don't push me!
Okay.